This is Help Wanted, the show that makes your work work for you. I'm Jason Pfeiffer, editor-in-chief of Entrepreneur Magazine.
And I'm money expert Nicole Lappin. On Tuesdays, Jason and I answer the helpline and help callers solve their work problems.
And on Thursdays, I give you one way to improve your work and build a career or company you love.
And it starts now.
You're facing a problem with no obvious solution. Maybe it's a work challenge, a family issue, or a personal dilemma. You've thought about it from every angle, but every option seems flawed. You're stuck, frustrated, and running out of ideas. Today, I will show you a simple but powerful technique that can break you out of this trap. I call it list before you leap. The idea is this. Before deciding what to do, list every solution you can think of, even and especially the really bad ideas. This may sound simple, but doing it will feel profound. It will help you find solutions that you never would have considered otherwise. I will explain how it works and why it works. But first, I want to tell you about a conversation with my wife where this strategy came in handy. My wife, Jen, and I were recently trying to fix something related to our son's friends. It's just one of those complicated, emotional, knotty issues that every parent faces. So as we started talking about it, I said to her this. I said, let's start listing potential solutions. Here's the first one. And then I shared an idea, but Jen immediately cut me off. That's not going to work, she said, and she started explaining why. And I said, hold up, let's not start rejecting ideas yet. For now, let's just list every solution we can think of. She said, okay. So I moved on to a second solution. Well, we could try this. And again, she interrupted me immediately. That won't work either, she said, and she explained why. To which I said, you're missing the point. And then I explained what I was actually trying to do because it's part of a problem-solving strategy that I use all the time in business, but it works everywhere. So here's the problem. When we consider solutions one by one, we are making it easy for us to say no. Why? Because when we reject one idea, we implicitly assume there's a better one coming. It's kind of like dating. Sometimes it is hard to commit to one person because it feels too easy to find someone else. So you think, this person's fine, but I'm sure there's someone better. And off you go. But in complicated situations, there are not endless options. Instead, there are a fixed number of options. And even if they're all imperfect, you must pick one. That's why we can't evaluate solutions one by one. When you do that, you become biased towards saying no, because no allows you to move on to the next, hopefully better solution. So instead, you must become biased towards saying yes, which means you must list before you leap. When you're trying to find the answer to a difficult question, here's what you should do. 3 things. Number 1, list every possible solution that you can think of, even if they're bad or impractical ideas. Number 2, look at that list and tell yourself, I must pick one of these options. And then number 3, start narrowing down. Once you see all of your options in front of you, your mindset will shift. You'll start eliminating the truly terrible solutions, and then you'll take the remainders more seriously. Maybe, let's say, there are only 5 potential solutions, and 4 of them really suck. One of them only sort of sucks. So that's your best choice. Pick it. Does that sound terrible? It shouldn't really, because here's the good news. Once you act, you will create more options. Thinking does not create more solutions. Only acting creates more solutions. When you act, you prompt someone else's reaction. You gain more information. The problem starts to shift in front of you, creating more pathways for solutions. And then you get to go back and do this entire process over again. Here is how I use this all the time. I'll just tell you a couple recent ways that I applied it. First one, I'm planning an event right now, and we had to make some hard choices about the programming. My team kept looking for solutions that were perfect. So I laid out every imperfect solution, and I said, we need to pick one of these. And eventually, we did. Here's another one. A friend is unhappy at work, but isn't sure what to do. So after we talked about it for 15 minutes, I said, all right, here are all of your possible options. Then I listed 5. We discussed each one, we settled on one, and now she is taking action on it. And here's another one. Well, it's the thing that I started by talking to you about at the beginning of this episode. My wife and I addressing this sticky friend situation for our son. Here's how it went. We went through the exercise and we came up with 7 options. And then we quickly eliminated 5 of them. And then we debated the final 2, made a decision, and started to act. Now we are having useful conversations with other parents. We're learning, we're adapting, and we're moving towards a solution to the problem. Is our solution perfect? No, but that's okay. Remember, if a perfect answer exists, we would have already easily found it. If we're stuck, it's because we need to make hard decisions. This isn't about settling for mediocrity. It's about creating a preference for action and forcing yourself to say yes to something instead of remaining in the false comfort of no. The big takeaway is this: don't do nothing. Do something. Whatever you do, pick an option. Help Wanted is a production of Money News Network. Help Wanted is hosted by me, Jason Pfeiffer.
And me, Nicole Lappin. Our executive producer is Morgan Lavoie. If you want some help, email our helpline at helpwanted@moneynewsnetwork.com for the chance to have some of your questions answered on the show. And follow us on Instagram at Money News and TikTok at Money News Network for exclusive content and to see our beautiful faces. Maybe a little dance.
Oh, I didn't sign up for that.
All right, well, talk to you soon.